Hi, it's Z with the Quest, and I was going to bring you up another update here, so I need my readers. This is from back in August, and it currently still holds true. We're currently on hold. Our success seems to have been too fast. One of the Quest laws is once we rescue a child from human trafficking, they are part of our family for life. This is what separates us from all the rest. We will not allow them to return or be captured. Some are placed with surrogate parents that we vent to the nth degree. Those returned to the parents are also monitored and so on. Of the over 500 rescued, about 200 have found homes and are thriving. 300 are still in our care in locations we cannot reveal for their protection. This all comes at a cost. Currently we are underfunded except through wonderful people in very small amounts. For me, I've been donating about $300 a month and sometimes more from working extra jobs and such, but events have changed and I'm not able to do so currently. I took out a loan I can't really afford to get my nonprofit and my 501c3 to help vent me to the public. Maybe that was not such a good idea at the time, but you gotta trust, right? We have a couple of monthly donations totaling about $30, and that helps also. Here and there we get enough to do a rescue. Currently only the monthly is coming in. Like I said, we grew too fast. Let me explain. When we have rescued a child, we help them physically and mentally, then place them through extensive evaluation, most conducive to their future. Most, if not all, go to our selected orphanages that we can do what is needed and most importantly, protect them. On these locations we provide the security, and our tactical people do this voluntarily. These places care for most with the funds they receive, but not all, and very limited with just the basics. Our team individuals do what they can also. Let's see here. You know, we've rescued so many and so fast that it becomes a problem placing them. It's not just as simple to go to an orphanage and give them a child. There is so much corruption and fake orphanages that we have to know everything about these places, and many are completely off the grid. They are just people taking in these kids, taking care of their needs, and that includes medical, counseling, and schooling. I won't bore you with all the particulars because I think you can get the idea of how difficult a challenge this is. We are presently looking for more places, but this is a huge challenge, and it takes a lot of time making sure they are real. So many have ties with the bad guys and sell them back or worse. Just a point, recently in Thailand, a longtime Buddhist temple was trafficking these kids. So you get the idea, right? Even once they're vented, we have to go through them and monitor them because there's always a change of personnel and such. And you never know. Money talks in these places. I'm still amazed to this day of how many people that we've gotten on board, and we've never found any of them to do anything against what we were doing. But then again, it's extensive research. We just don't hire somebody. Of course, we're not paying anybody. So you kind of get the picture of how this works. So at this point, we're just a little behind, but we're catching up. Let's see. The ones who are placed with parents take care of this for the ones they did not have, and it's not cheap to do this. What is needed to keep these children safe in a new life? Moving a child's family is also not an easy task. Uprooting a whole family and getting them to work in a way the bad guys cannot track them down is also not easy. A rescue before that, when we do this, we're talking new identities, we're talking new locations, and like if it's the actual parents of the child, we have to place them in new employment. And this isn't easy because we're talking about entire families and to sever connections in order to keep a kid safe. Sometimes it doesn't work, so we have to take another step. But when we have surrogate parents, we have to have new IDs and birth certificates and things like this, and sometimes they even change countries in order to keep the kids safe. But we take care of that for them just through our underground railroad. Okay, let's see. To do a rescue, it usually takes between $100 and $300. That is simply gas, equipment, medical supplies, bribes, and local help for distractions and such. Each child we place, like the current 300, cost us about an additional $8 a month to help the orphanage. So essentially, since we're not funded, individuals take care of this for each of the children if they can, and also the orphanages go out of their way to help us. Nobody's going to let these kids go, all right? So but it hurts, it's hard, and we feel the responsibility. Let's see here. So you see, if it wasn't for these amazing angels that have come to join us in this movement, none of this would be happening. Bless them with your thoughts, okay? It's hard for me to understand why we don't get the help that we need, but maybe it's because we're not doing it like anybody else. We're actually making a difference. Really, I never would have believed that I would not be alone in this journey. It became my mission, and I really did not have a lot of faith in humans. All my life, the majority of my experiences has been in the darkness. Even those in the light, including governments, always talk the talk, but when push came to shove, they did not walk the walk. To prove this, the next time you are down and out, try to see how many of your true friends are there for you. Seriously. So, essentially, I didn't trust anybody. I still have a hard time doing that. But I am just totally amazed how so many people have come to help the quest. And it wouldn't exist really without them. We would be in the numbers of 10 here or 10 there with me just doing it when I could afford to do it. As far as the cost, like I mentioned, $100 to $300, that's a really low level rescue. Sometimes when we have a little bit of money, we go after them, and bribes are not always so cheap because the people that we are working against are most of the time city officials, such as police or government officials, because there's not going to be a conviction even if they did get cost. If we followed the rules and went by the laws, nothing would happen, just like it does with the rest of these rescuers, or whatever you want to call them. I know they try, and they don't understand. They don't understand you have to change through their culture, not around their culture. And you can see videos from 5 and 10 years apart of the government officials saying the same thing. they're going to do this and they're going to do that, and it never happens. There's too much money to be made in this, so we're taking that away and replacing it. And as we continue forward, once we do get funded, we'll be able to show you how big that event is. Okay. When I started this movement, I was brought to my knees over and over with the amazing people who have joined the quest. Most have nothing except for themselves and their heart. So many are so ashamed that they cannot do more. Yet as I tell them, anything is something, and it is our duty to humanity. For without humanity, what are we? I know not everyone can have this compassion that reaches so deep within me, and I accept this each time. I meet people that want to help, but then just tune it out of actually how dark it is, or that they want to be acknowledged for their efforts, publicly. But to do that puts them at risk, and I cannot allow death to be found any direction but me and those who accept that truth. So I think you see, work outside the box and it works. I saw how all the others were doing it, and with their high salaries and public functions, they didn't have time to complete or be successful. Some have success, but to me it has to be everything to be successful. There's a way of doing it, and I have found it. It will never be easy, but it will always lead to success in ending human trafficking. I know it, and I'm proving it. We all feel over and over that no one cares or refuses to allow the acceptance of this crime against humanity. They think slavery ended long ago, but it is the second largest business in the world right now. Most people don't know that. And it's everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I guess I've babbled enough. What we need is more than money. We also need people skilled in marketing or recruiting others, like in fundraising. These are not my skills. Keep in mind, I work all the time, and I am limited to what I can do by myself. I can do speeches, and a lot of the time, time is my enemy. So please contact me with any ideas, thoughts, marketing, anything that can be of use. Just need to get the word out. I know if enough people found out about this, that they would help in whatever possible means they could. It just amazes me that people with children, they just don't seem to really care or think that they can do anything about it. And here we are succeeding. We are making a difference. We are changing humanity. And we're just that close to making it even bigger and making it worldwide. I know. I just know. All we need is a little bit of help, okay? And please don't try to teach me how others are doing it. And I've already been down that road. That is why their end result is maybe worse than the whole idea. I guess a warning: if I'm asked to speak, I don't hold back. It is graphic and a horrible subject. To not tell the whole story is like not telling the truth at all. If you want to adopt one of these kids, be warned, I'll investigate you before any direction will be given. Like I say, these are my kids, and once you get through me, then I can get you through the proper channels. I guess the other thing that I wanted to mention was my book came out, and so that's available. And if you want to go to my website, thehumanquest999.com, it'll be in the description too. I tell a few stories in there that actually happened, and you can go through it and see the graphic truth of what's actually taking place, and we're allowing it by not fighting it. At least that's the way I see it. And all the money that goes to this book, I mean, you can get it for $2, you know, on your Kindle. I mean, or $12 on Amazon. It's called Operation Z. It all goes to these kids. I mean, you know, you buy one of the books and it supports one kid for a month. The other thing is that I keep getting a lot of requests to take somebody who's a potential investor along on one of these rescues. You know, the complications that comes from that. I'm willing to take them to a point. They just not in the actual rescue. They can be outside before it happens. They can be with us after it happens, and they get to see the process that the kids go through. Yet they're still going to have to be extremely vetted, and they need to pay for it, and they need to know what could happen and how extreme this is. So I'm starting to almost feel like what would you call it? A child sex trafficking rescue tour guide, and I'm not playing that game. All right, and so that I have ways for you to go see what's going on, and people that work with me that you'll be able to meet, and so forth and such. But if you're interested in this and you're serious about helping and becoming part of the cause, just contact me. My information is a little of everywhere, so you can find it on Facebook, The Quest, or you can find it on Human Trafficking, all right, my website. So I've got my phone number, I think, in there too. So anyway, I just want to really thank you, those that have supported. Anybody that has any information of how to make this thing bigger, to get attention in order so that we can do this, right? I'll give you a hint too. There will be more coming up. We've gotten a few more orphanages to help us out, or safe places to keep these kids and raise them. So soon, hopefully, we'll be able to do some more rescues. Hopefully, before the end of the year. We've already got several places mapped out and we're ready to go. We just need the equipment and the necessities in order to do this right. It's part of my laws. If we can't do it the right way and be successful, then we won't do it at all. So anyways, thank you, appreciate you, and bless you.